already. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the B&R Racing Network as we head into their season finale here tonight from Iowa. What it's going to be a great race. Going to be a great race here tonight with these drivers to end the season here. Go over a little race information here real quick. As you see here, we're in Newton, Iowa. The track that Rusty Wallace built. So it was good to see the race here yesterday night. Good old Ryan Blayton snag it all, giving a hell of a fight to Kyle Larson, but the current track length is 0.89 miles. Temperature is 100 degrees track. The weather outside is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 99% humidity, cloudy skies, 6 mile per hour wind. These boys do run fixed setups. They do get 70% fuel, and they do get one fast repair. So you see their KT on top of the board. Schwartz out here turning his laps, so unfortunately we do not get the updated track. Which I prefer the old surface anyway. You see the 44. Ooh. Joseph Madigan jumps to top of that board. Can Jason Taylor get to the top? You see Madigan just out there having a little fun at the moment. We'll go over to starting grid. So starting P1 will be Joseph Madigan. P2 will be Kevin Trzynski. P3 will be Sean O'Brien. P4 will be Josh Farmer. P5 will be Randy Sample. P6 will be Keenan Miller. P7 will be Will Roberts. P8 will be Avery McDonald. P9 will be Greg Elliott. P10 will be Antonio Bonani. P11 will be Michael Cochran. P12 will be Jonathan Schwartz. P13 will be Chris Ostrander. P14 will be Clinton Collins. P15 will be Jason Taylor. And P16 will be Jonathan Mazzella. Like I said earlier on top of the show, this is the track that Rusty Wallace built. So.
Yes, indeed, Brian.
Yeah. How ironic, you got another 12 cars starting up in the front, just like yesterday's race. So from what I heard, it's coming down to, it'll either be Joseph Madigan or Sean O'Brien.
Well, from the way the points look, that looks like Jason Taylor needs a lot to go right for him to have any chance. He's only a total of 20. Let me do math here real quick. Jason is only 11 points back from the points lead, Brian. So theoretically, mathematically, yes. But Joseph Madigan, he is your points leader heading into this race. All he has to do really probably lead the most laps, lead a lap, win the race, and he wins the championship. Sean O'Brien Jr., same thing has to happen for him. Basically, like they talked about last week, it's a Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart situation. Whoever basically finishes ahead of the other, we will see mathematically. We'll have to pull Avery or one of the admins down here and discuss with him. More than likely, maybe, depending of certain situations. We saw the actual cup race here be a heck of a doozy of a race. Lots of things happening, different incidents and so forth. And not too long ago, we also saw a B&R race held here. So
That we did.
So mathematically, 3 drivers, I believe, looking at the points, that are eligible to win this championship here in the AMS Cup Series. And Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra General Motors pace truck about to pull off. Joseph Madigan on the pole. Green flag is out. And we are underway here this evening, Brian, at Iowa for the final race of the season here in the AMS Cup Series, as already Josh Farmer getting underneath, crossing up Sean O'Brien Jr. on the bottom, and they're going to be side by side coming off the corner. That's definitely not what Sean wants in the early goings here. He wants to try to be battling with Joseph if he can. He don't want to be doing something. Oh, he kind of drove himself in the wall there. Overdrove the exit of the corner. As we're seeing a little bit further back, 3 wide, a couple of rows deep. Oh, already trouble for Avery and another driver.
So what you got going on out there, bud?
A whole lot of things, Chad. So, going into turns 1 and 2 here on the replay. I'm not sure if Bonini touched Avery.
No.
That camera angle. No, you don't think so? And then I think
Those
Roberts,
bumps.
who who spun with him? There was another car spinning. Oh, I think Ostrander.
Yeah, 73.
Ostrander gets tagged, checking up for that. I don't know who that is that tags him.
Schwartz. You see racy early on here. That bump going into turns 1 and 2 can be treacherous. These cars absolutely do not like it. That is why we've seen the repave on Sunday to try to avoid that in the real life
Yes,
world. So
yeah. The repatch work was also
a little
not
sketchy
not
there.
just the bumpiness that had been created over the time of the track settling right. All these paved tracks, whether it's concrete or asphalt, they kind of settle over time, just like how a mountain or a hill will move slowly over the course of, like, say, 50 years. If you're a land surveyor or somebody like that, you will understand that the tectonic plates shifts and moves the ground that we walk on or that we live. Our house foundation moves. Anyway, so the same rules apply with racetracks, right? And that's why some drivers say, "Oh, I wish they wouldn't have repaved this track. It's got so much character in it. The tire fall off, etc." And the bumps and all the different characteristics that it takes to make a racing track that sometimes makes a racing track so great. Yeah, the repatch work that was done in the corners, not just to get rid of the bumps, Brian, but the track was also coming apart, coming up, from what I had also my understanding. So kind of good that they were doing that. Hopefully, when IndyCar goes there in a month, I believe, or two, we will see if it is suitable for IndyCar, if they don't have to repave the whole track, because there's no telling how much it costs just to do the repatch work of 1 and 2, 3 and 4, which, you know, uh, as we saw, for multiple years, form into a very bumpy track. You had to kind of pick your line depending on the type of handling car you had. So, getting back at it here, restart. Everybody's doubled up.
Yes, sir, indeed.
Green flag.
See here, Joseph Madigan with a great start. Sean O'Brien is still there, but Farmer's still to the inside there. And that is not
Caution.
what Sean O'Brien wants to see.
Huge, huge crash. That's just
You have to
about
get a look at
everybody
yourself,
but
please, on
Joseph
track before you
Madigan,
head
the
for that
pole
caution bump.
sitter and race leader. Gonna have to get a good look at this one, Brian. My goodness. Well, looks like Sean was trying to just close the door on Josh Farmer there, but Farmer was he already had a nose there, Brian, and
Yes, he did.
just unfortunate, man. Everybody involved. Gonna have to get a couple of more replays here. We got time. We can get a couple of more because everybody pretty much involved here. We could see it from a couple of other angles. Mother. Anyway, it's like, whenever Daffy Duck would go, "Mother."
So you see the initial
So,
start. O'Brien comes down a little bit, forces Farmer down there. Right there, there's not much room for Farmer to go. And he makes some contact with the 65.
and you can see from the onboard cam right now, this is gonna. Everybody's trying to find a place to go. You see Greg Elliott trying to go somewhere. Everybody's trying, but
It's very unfortunate.
oh, okay. Well, not everybody got involved like I thought they did, but
That was
now that I
Mercedes
see,
24.
yeah, it looked a lot worse.
This track can be sketchy and brings out good racing as we see here.
Yeah, it can be quite dangerous. It can be quite treacherous. And like you just said, sketchy is another word for it because, like we saw in the B&R Cup race, was it just a week or two ago, Brad? That,
Yeah, just about a
you
couple
know,
of weeks ago.
that if you cross up the seams wrong, if you straddle the seams or just even maybe touch them, go near them, if you look at them the wrong way, your car just turns around. So that's another thing to keep an eye out for here is the seams.
And the bumps in 1 and 2, you hit those if, as we've seen before, every straddling those bumps on the outside lane really upsetted the rear of that car and sent it all around.
Racing here is almost like racing at like a small Kansas, because if you can make that outside lane work, it is bumpy up there, like you talked about, treacherous, but it's very similar to like the outside lane at Kansas, how bumpy that lane can be. As the pace truck peels off again, third time of asking in total. Green flag back out. Madigan leading them back into turn one. Now, these AMS Cup Series drivers do get one fast repair, right, Brian? So,
Yes, sir.
hopefully Sean O'Brien can kind of come back, fight back from that little bit misfortune, mistake, whatever you'd like to call it, error of kind of trying to defend that position, but in the end, it didn't even matter. So, another incident almost occurring there between. Got to squint my eyes. That is normally the Sinclair-driven car, but that is Michael
That's the
Cochran
82. 82 to
and
42.
yep, Miller, Keenan Miller, and
Hey, he's got that
Michael Cochran.
what's that? Like bright purple, so it's kind of hard to see the
Number.
yeah. Unless I come in
That's
like
all
this.
right. Yes, that's a better camera view. Racing with Chris Ostrander there. I mean, if you like the other ones, that's cool too. We can always switch it up back and forth. Howdy doody. So
He's gonna be on Raw
three
tonight, so don't worry about it.
three wide, a little bit further back, I do believe. They're trying. Oh, somebody beating the wall down.
Yeah. So, well, we will see a lot more familiar faces probably next season over here with these boys. So, we'll have a little bit more of a stout field. So, a lot of familiar names. Familiar racetracks.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks off, or maybe a few weeks off, and then right back at it again. These AMS Cup Series pilots will be back at it.
Yeah. They're taking a month off. On July 22nd, they'll be back.
Oh, okay, my bad. That's more than a couple of weeks.
But you see there, Ostrander, the dominant effect, the turns. This track can be tricky. You really gotta be steady with the throttle, especially over the bumps on the low line. With the new package. Oh.
Oh, Ostrander getting crossed up there in one, and Miller having to check up there. That's Sean O'Brien on the drive back recovery, so O'Brien is able to get around, no problem.
But you see here the 58 by Schwartz and Ostrander side by side. As you see, Will, they are avoiding all the way to the outside lane there because of the bumps in 1 and 2. So
Yeah, like we talked about, you really want to get that car pointed in the right direction going into 1 and turn number 3, and just be able to go over those seams, kind of just glide it in there.
yeah, I did a few officials here, and if you don't hit your marks right, and I know the if you don't hit your marks and you get off track there, it's not going to be good. And once again, Will, it's a phenomenal thing for the rhythmic track.
Yeah, it's a very rhythmic in the rhythm. You got to have rhythm, as Johnny Cash would say. Get rhythm. Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, you know. You just got to get rhythm, and if you can't get in that rhythm, you're not going to have a fun night at Iowa racing amongst the cornfields.
Especially here. And we seen it yesterday, how brutal it was.
Yeah, it can be a track where you really have to back up the corners more than you think. You can drive it kind of like Richmond, but it's not Richmond, so you have to drive it a tad bit differently. As chaos is ensuing, look like O'Brien and Mazzella gets loose out of turn. Oh, that wasn't O'Brien. That was
AT.
That was Kevin. So the 12 and 41 machines getting loose last time by out of turn number 4. Very easy to do because you're still turning that wheel on the not so straight straightaway coming out of turn number 4. So
I want to be where so I can diamond effect the turns and get on that bottom, but still you gotta let it roll so much and really
Diamond in the
Why?
corners here, Brian, is a very good technique to get around here efficiently.
It's very difficult with another car on your outside because you really can't hit your entry because you're so worried, especially off of 4. If you have somebody on your outside, you really are going to get tight, and it's going to be brutal. So you got to let it roll so much and make sure you hit your marks and try not to pinch the other car on the wall. The outside lane does work here at a 4. You can carry a lot of momentum off of there. Madigan still in the lead, Elliott second, Roberts third, JT fourth, Cochran fifth. That is your top 5. And then Schwartz, O'Brien, Faulkner, Mazzella, and then Miller. Oh, Ostrander would have bumped the KT as KT was getting very loose to avoid not losing the rear, and that's what I'm talking about, your throttle control. But Ostrander is now on the move to get up to Bonani. Bonani's right about there, right in his toe.
Like I said, the similarities to Richmond. Like I said, you could drive it similar to Richmond if you could try or wanted to, I suppose. But it's not Richmond. But there are takeaways you can take, like you're saying, backing up the corner more so than usual, are just
I got the little map pulled up here. Each turn is not the same.
No, it's not.
Shape.
No.
A little different, and I guess that's what Rusty wanted. So
it is definitely one of those tracks that can be a driver's track for sure, to say the least.
Off of the top there of 4, but as we saw there, well, Greg Elliott did get a little squirrely on that outside lane there. But you see here, Madigan will, with a good almost 4.5 second lead over Mike there. So Madigan's just setting the pace, running his lap, doing whatever he can. So JT with a slip and a slide. See here KT and Schwartz now side by side going into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is a bit more swooping of a corner than 3 and 4. 3 and 4, you really have to back that entry up, get the car pointed, like it's almost a double diamond to get off of turn 4. A lot of people aren't going to know what I'm meant by a double diamond of a corner, but that's okay. And I'm not even about to explain that because it can be a bit too technical. Anyway, it's just in a way having to hit a double apex, but then that might be too complicated too. Anyway, basically just getting to the center of the corner.
What do
Twice.
you think,
Ooh,
bud? You think you're all right
what's
out there?
this caution for? Fuel run, Brian, 75 to 80 laps on a fuel run, but the drivers were talking about tires, maybe being coming to pits sooner than that. So Mazzella and was that Roberts getting together behind? Oh,
Looked like I started
and
to
it
break.
yes, it did. It did. My apologies, but there was contact with Mazzella and Roberts coming out of turn number 2. But right here is where it happened. Oh man, one of those just hospital twitches. Normally we say hospital hop, but then that was just a twitch. And then oh man, Roberts trying to just get on the binders there. I don't think he hits the pit road wall, but man, you were talking about it, the bumps, the seams, the everything, man. We have talked about it, and that caught out Greg Elliott right there, going through 3 and 4, Brian.
That it did. So everybody's coming into the pits. Gonna get some fresh tires here. Oof. 3 wide battle off of the pits there. It will be Madigan, Cochran, and Taylor for that 3 wide, and it went to Madigan. So
Hey, Celtics are leading at halftime, Brian.
there you go. And Drew said I quit. And I think Madigan's probably going to lock this one up with the outstanding, phenomenal pace that he has here. So,
And well, Sean can get back up here and do something, Brian. But yes, I'd have to agree with you with that note. That's a valid point to make. With Madigan's pace that he's been setting so far, he seems to be the championship favorite at the end of this race. But still a long way to go. We still have a little bit further to run, Brian.
that we do. We absolutely do.
Well, that's at halftime, so go back to doing what I'm doing.
So they will get lined back up here. Oh, nope, next time by. So 46 of 150 in the books, Will. They had a very nice green flag run. An outstanding run, I would say. So these guys over here do get unlimited sets of tires, from what I see. They're not limited, so you get unlimited sets of tires, more the merrier. So
Yeah, that's always a good thing because you never know when you can flat spot a tire, lock one up. Yeah, that's going to flat spot a tire, slide your tires. Anything that's going to do harm to your tires, it's good to be able to um, have that opportunity to come back down and get a fresh set.
oh yeah. But now you see here we got JT up here now, Will, so this is about to get interesting here. And then Sean O'Brien right behind him. So the two teammates there are 3 and 5th, or 3rd and 5th, sorry. So
Excuse me.
So as we get ready to watch them run out of turns 4, the pace truck will pull off, and Madigan will lead the field back to green.
Green, green, green.
My problem is, can KT keep up with Madigan? Or does Mike keep driving hard on the outside, stalling these guys out as Madigan pulls away? You see there, KTD get a little bit tight, or unless he was going to the outside lane there. But now, sorry, what did I say, KT? I mean JT. I did say JT. JT now has some company with Farmer there, Will. And O'Brien is all over the back of Farmer here. And when everything's on the line for the championship race,
Whenever you said Drew quit earlier, I thought you meant somebody in the race. You meant McIntyre.
Yeah.
So work. He's going to be on SmackDown. He's going to beat the heck out of Punk.
But you see there, Farmer now falls off a little bit. Sean O'Brien hangs out in 3rd place there as JT looks to apply the pressure to the 76 Will. Looks to go to the inside lane there. But if you can get that bottom of the stick, you can come back to the quarter side by side just about and still have a battle for the race here.
Yeah, JT up here trying to maybe pressure Madigan into maybe making a mistake perhaps, trying to match his pace, match his speed. Sean O'Brien back up to 3rd position, trying to do something as far as championship-wise, take the championship away from Madigan. The probably, safe to say, the most dominant driver this season in the AMS Cup Series.
Yeah. He won a pretty good selective race this year, so he's
6 races, I believe.
I want to say so, yes. Snipers Republic, thanks for the subscribe. Thanks for tuning on in here too as well with the AMS Cup guys, so much appreciated. But Madigan has a not so much of a lead. Oh, you see Roberts there gets a little bump from the 82 of Miller. And it upsets the rear of his car to where he almost loses it, but Miller will get on by Will there, so
Roberts going to be side by side with Bonini. Now is Bonini going to come under the attack of Roberts? Or take the attack to Roberts, I should say. Kind of said that backwards. It's okay.
That it is. It is A-okay.
So JT still applying the pressure to Manigan, even all the way up in the top lane there.
But you see here, JT now looking to go back to the inside of Madigan here. He obviously, you see, Will, he probably did have to burp the throttle a little bit, so he didn't slide up into Madigan.
I was definitely having to work the pedals to stay off fellow competitors. But now he's really now attacking that bottom groove, trying every way necessary to maybe have a chance to get by.
Oh yeah, but now he's got his teammate there right behind him, Will, of Sean O'Brien, so O'Brien's going to start making his way back to the picture here, Will, as he gets a good entry into turns 3 and 4.
All over the back of Manigan. Is that Randy Sample in 4th position?
No, that's Schwartz.
Okay, my apologies.
Oh boy.
And Swartz is going to lose it down the front straightaway, locking and down. Is that going to be a caution?
Nope, he got it back going. I was trying to get to real quick.
Man, oh man.
Another 10 laps and we will be halfway. Here tonight on the BNR Racing Network and the AMS Cup Series, bringing you their championship finale from Iowa. And once again,
3 that are in.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I was going to say the top 3 that are mathematically in the championship hunt are battling it out, duking it out here in the same panoramic camera view here. Joseph Manigan, your race leader, Jason Taylor, 2nd place, and Sean O'Brien Jr. in 3rd position, rounding out the podium positions here at the moment. What were you going to say, Brian? My apologies.
These guys will be kicking back up again July 22nd. So, if you have iRacing and want to come out to a good league, they do race Monday nights.
I'd love to.
Right. More action for us to call. But also would like to drive too as well. But,
a hold of Avery McDonald in the 93 car, right? So, he is the one main admin that I'm aware of that we would have
Elliot,
to
get. And I think KT.
Yes, good point. So, others involved: Greg Elliott, Kevin Troyansky, and like I said, Avery McDonald. The admins to get a hold of over here for the AMS Cup Series side of things, if you were wanting to run and be a part of it, like Brian said, last week of July, that sounds like.
Let's see.
So, my phone's on the charger.
That would be the last full week of July.
So the last Monday in July is when AMS Cup Series starts back up again.
Last Monday.
What?
Because the 29th is the last Monday of July.
Okay, so the penultimate
there you go.
Monday. Goodness, Brian. Getting me all confused.
Hey, it happens.
It does. on a week-to-week, day-by-day, hour-by-hour basis, just about. So now, what has happened to JT?
He ended up getting a little loose on the outside of 3 and 4 and almost lost it.
Okay, well, shows how much I've been paying attention. That's unfortunate. I mean, for both ends. I mean, the paying attention and the JT just getting loose and losing second position. Don't know how many. Oh, that's Randy Sample going for a slide, but he saves it. I believe that was Randy. I could be wrong. I thought that. Keenan going for a ride and a half on the drag strip, locks it down and saves it down there on the itty bitty quarter mile, if that even is a quarter mile.
Yeah, it should be there. I think it is. Should still be there.
Where the Legends car is coming race.
Yes. You see Will there
Big.
hits that wall there.
I was going to say, I heard that one. That was a hit and a half. No, up there again, could have a toe link askew or something, because that car now looks to be more than a handful for Roberts. And caution is out here again this evening.
Oh, Jason. Hate to see it.
Jason Taylor bringing out the caution here this evening. And just loses it coming out of turn number 4.
Hate to see that for him for sure. Absolutely do.
Yes, because he was running up there with Madigan and teammate Sean O'Brien Jr. Like I said, mathematically, that's the third person involved to try to take this championship away from Madigan. Fingers crossed that the Boston Celtics get it done here in Game 5 and get it done and over with. Oh. But I hate to say it, I'm kind of a fan of both teams. I like the Mavericks. Anthony gonna laugh if he ever heard me say that, but
yes, he would.
I'm just kidding. I'm not really that big. I'm more of a Celtics fan for sure. I only really have like one team in the NBA that I pull for. So, and the Golden State Warriors. But
Oh, O'Brien won the race off pit road. And these lights have kicked on here tonight as these drivers will be fixing to race under the lights.
I think instead of fixing, we could have said about to be, or just fixing. I'm trying to be an English major, but yet I can't even English myself. Anyway, the lights just kicked on. I thought I was about to jump out of my seat here because it kind of scared me for some reason. I saw something flicker, and I'm like, what in the world just happened? Aliens.
That's right. So Sean won the race off pit road. The problem is, can he keep it and try to defend every ounce of lane that he can to keep Joseph Madigan behind him?
It's kind of like what the Boston Celtics are actually doing right now with the huge lead that they actually have. I say it's a huge lead. It's about a 15-point lead, Brian. So, you can't. Don't mess that up. Come on now.
Yeah.
Gonna keep playing patty cake with the ball here. Oh. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, well, next week, in the real life world, these Cup guys do head to New Hampshire. That could be a good
Yes.
track if it's not raining. So,
I know it's New Hampshire.
New Hampshire
Yeah,
could be an average race.
pretty decent track for some all right, good racing. Hopefully, never can tell with New Hampshire.
Of course,
It
we
might be
had
a
the bad
snooze
news this
fest.
year that my
Yes, all.
old driver is calling it quits, but still going to be around in NASCAR, just not a full-time racer. Hate to see it for him, but best of luck to him. And see what he does. I could have swore, isn't Bobby Labonte's an ambassador too, ain't he? For JGR.
Yes.
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 So now they got two ambassadors over there in JGR, which I think will be good. I mean, the
How
more
many
the better.
ambassadors do you need?
Right. But I still would prefer Truex to go drive for Junior.
Right. Life dreams that'll never happen again.
Right, as much as Dale wanted them to do it. But only one can hope. Anyway, pace truck's out.
Oh man, how's that not a foul?
Flag.
Dude just forearmed the guy's forehead.
Oh, looked like Madigan missed a shift there or was in the wrong
Spun the
gear.
tires. Something. Yes. Missed a shift. Wrong
But here it
gear.
comes again.
Spun the tires. Well, that bottom lane, man, we've always known historically has been there on these restarts at Iowa. And now Sean O'Brien Jr. up there, way up there, now going to do, maybe looking downstairs now for a crossover.
Oh, he's going to get Madigan up there. Oh, no, crossover
Madigan.
again.
Yep, Madigan does a crossover of his own. So crossovers galore here, battling for the lead. 3 wide, just about behind him.
But Sean O'Brien is not giving up, Will. He is giving Madigan the run for his money here. Got to slide up there. Ooh. Very close. That could have almost been bad for both of those two.
It just as well could have been, but thank goodness it wasn't. Just this fierce battling going on between the two. Just about 4 wide now for third position, as they're trying to settle that amongst themselves back there. Randy Sample, Keenan Miller, Greg Elliott, Josh Farmer. Can't make out the other car. Maybe one day I'll be able to make it out.
Yeah, O'Brien, Miller, Schwartz, Miller, Farmer, and Sample. As Elliott looks to get to the inside of Schwartz there. And same thing with Farmer trying to make his move on Sample. Can't quite get it going. See Miller trying to get her the stick on the bottom to get on by Schwartz there.
Great battle that happened there between Elliott and Sample. Sample falling into the clutches of, who is that? Schwartz.
Yes. Good battles all around.
Yeah, 7.5 seconds separates the entire field of 15 drivers here. Madigan, O'Brien, Miller, that's the top three at the moment. Elliott, Schwartz, that's the top five. Sample, Mazzella, Taylor, Farmer, and Roberts rounds out the top 10. Ostrander, Fonini, McDonald, Cochran, and Collins rounds out the field of everyone on the lead lap. We are 90 laps in the books, 3 cautions. So this is about how the B&R race was going, if we can recall, just a couple of weeks ago, Brian.
Yes, they could have.
What, you don't remember?
No, I don't. I can't remember.
That's understandable. I barely remember a good bit of stuff, but that's okay. We're not going to talk about that. So 92 laps in the books. We're going to crank it up real quick. We'll be right back with the talking action, but until then, listen to the action out on the track.
I don't know.
Caution's up.
Caution out here yet again.
Oh, Elliott.
Well, the car just brakes sideways on him, and he tries to correct it, but oh man, who was that got a piece of him?
Avery.
Oh man, Avery's been the worst tonight, hasn't he?
As you watch here, you just can't get slowed down enough in time especially where he's sliding back down and carrying all that speed and just nicks the rear of the 78.
Oh yeah, anytime it's a bank track, it doesn't matter how much banking, how many degrees of banking this any track will have. What goes up will come down. It'll slide down eventually, right, Brian? So you got to be careful. Got to be
Absolutely.
watchful. Got to be on your toes at all times.
Always.
Bruh.
So closing in on 50 laps to go.
Don't know if Jason Taylor's back up here with some trickery, but looks like Jason Taylor's back up here, Brian.
Yes, he is.
So yeah, like you're saying, so next month we get a month break from Mondays in the AMS Cup Series, and just a few weeks off, and back at it again. Like you say, driver count should be up a little bit because we're going to have some fresh faces over here, ones that we're kind of already familiar with in other series of other leagues. But we're here tonight at Iowa, still talking about who might be coming out of this race when it's all said and done, when the checkered flag waves as champion of this season. Can nobody on the Celtics shoot a three?
One quick second, I'm going to grab a very quick drink real fast.
All right, be careful. So lights are out, I think. It's hard to tell on top of that Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra pace truck. Need to get you a Silverado. So Madigan Taylor picking the outside lane. He's got teammate Sean O'Brien Jr. right behind him. And they are green and away back again, racing here at Iowa. See here, Madigan trying to make the moves to get back to the lead, but Jason Taylor trying to disturb the lane which he was going to be in.
Oh, a bobble for Schwartz.
Yes, a bit further back.
You see here, Madigan almost, that could have been very bad for him.
Sean O'Brien Jr. still going back downstairs. And going all the way up, sliding into teammate Jason Taylor.
It's gonna hurt a bit. Hate to really see that for the teammates, Will.
Well, you hate to see that at all. Like, rule number one when racing with teammates is don't touch the teammate. That's a golden rule in Formula One racing. When you have two team cars, and hopefully you're supposed to be racing around your teammate. Don't touch each other, and yeah. You see Sean O'Brien trying to do a slider on Madigan to take the lead back away. I think it's safe to say, though, that Madigan may have locked up the bonus point for leading the most laps, Brian. So
I'm gonna have to agree with you. He's been really dominant up here towards the front. That clean air. Is what's key.
Caution. Man, tell me what you got.
Rain example. Oh, it looked like just a little loose off 4 when sliding through that grass. And that's all, really, that's about all the road.
yeah, if he wouldn't have came back up on the track, he probably wouldn't have brought out the caution like we saw earlier.
Yeah, if he would have kept it down there, it would have been alright. But with those bumps in the grass, that will shoot you. Oh!
Everybody coming back down for pit lane.
Except for Madigan.
Yes, indeed, except for Madigan.
So Madigan, Farmer, Bonani, Ryan. Choice. Your top 5. But now, these guys do have the freshest tires now, so Madigan is on a couple of old tires here, so question is Farmer going to get, well, it depends on whatever lane Madigan takes. If he gives Farmer that bottom line, Farmer's not going to give up so easy. As we watched him on a few restarts a while ago, He was there to put the fight up.
Yeah, it's all about who's going to be able, like you said, to put a fight towards or forward to Madigan if they can. Who's able to keep up here in the final 38 laps to go, Brian?
Yes, sir, indeed. Which lane does Madigan choose? He's going to take the inside lane and going to give Farmer the outside.
So here we go. We're getting done working the sixth caution. Madigan, Farmer, O'Neill, O'Brien, Swartz, Elliott, Mazzella, Miller, Cochran, Ostrander. Green flag back out in the air. Ooh, Madigan changing lanes before the start finish.
Oh, Farmer!
Oh, Farmer. That's definitely going to be a caution.
Kind of talk me through what's going on again.
Really hate to see that for Farmer. I really do. Oof. Let's see here. That all depends on how you look at it.
Can you replay it again? Rewind it again? Yeah, that can be all depends on how you want to look at it. I guess that's definitely
I mean, the way it looks, he was probably going to move up.
That's really grayish right there.
Yeah. Oof. Antonio with a lot of damage, Will, on the nose of that 35 machine. So Madigan's still up front and O'Brien.
working the 7th caution.
Does O'Brien have anything for Madigan? Now, O'Brien is on the freshest of freshest tires compared to Madigan. So,
I'm just going to have to wait and see how it shakes out here. Looks like the light's still on that Chevy Silverado GMC Sierra pace truck there. So been one heck of a race so far. Had a couple of decent green flag run ins, but not a green flag scheduled pit stop. But this track is a handful, and it's understandable. I think we were getting close to at least stopping for tires, and of course fuel. But we saw some spinneroonies happen before that could take place, Brian. So now everybody double filed back up. Lights are out on the pace truck, and I know I'm impatient.
oh, he gave Sean O'Brien the bottom lane.
He did, but it's all in the timing. If Sean can time the restart to Madigan's T, that is what we're looking forward here on the restart.
Green flag.
And the green flag is out. Madigan with a great start. With Sean O'Brien there. Trying to close in on Madigan. As Miller looks to apply the pressure to Mazzella.
8.5 minutes, Brian. Can Dallas come back from a 18-point deficit?
Oof, I don't know. Basketball can go either way.
Oh, never mind. It's back up to a 21-point lead.
Now he's here. Miller looking to get to the back of the 41, get the 41 to make a mistake.
Oh, hard battling.
Change.
Oh, lead change going on. Back to the sliders up at the front of the field, and crossovers and sliders and so forth. Sean O'Brien and Madigan taking it to each other. O'Brien getting right back to Madigan.
25 laps to go here tonight from the AMS Cup Series season finale. It is coming down to these two right here of O'Brien and Madigan.
Does Greg Elliott play race spoiler, try to win the race, and maybe upset something in the points? Oh! Possible into the door of Madigan. I think they stayed off each other, but nevertheless, now pulling a slider in front of Madigan. Madigan now with a crossover back to the driver door, tight down the straightaway into turns 1 and 2. Greg Elliott, defending champion, almost to the inside there of Sean O'Brien, but O'Brien back to the bottom where he's been so great, sliding up to the door of Madigan on corner exit, now having to pivot back into turn 1, but sliding up the track ever so slightly. That's what happens when you have to compromise your corners or have a bad turn entry into these corners, I should say.
Oh yeah. Good battle by these two in the front. Oh,
good battle
boy.
indeed, but it's getting awful hairy. Mazzella now trying to close in on the picture, but man, O'Brien getting real close with Madigan. I don't know how much more they can do this, how many more times they can keep flirting with disaster.
Boy, are they.
O'Brien looking back underneath.
Oh, they're leading.
Contact definitely made that time. They are sure leading on each other.
Oh,
Oh man.
18. Oh, he shoved him.
Now Greg Elliott taking the lead of the race momentarily here. Just edging out in front. And could possibly lead this lap. Coming to the stripe out of turn number 4.
Yes.
And he does. Gotta watch out. Greg Elliott could play spoiler here and just kind of ruin this, throw the points on its head per se. Sean O'Brien really needs to get ahead and win this race. Overall, that's probably his best bet. He needs Madigan probably to get off the podium, and he needs to win the race. If we can just do some mathematical calculation, and a touch there from Madigan and O'Brien, that's going to send O'Brien up into the fence a bit. But now swooping back on the attack.
He might be hurting a little bit, that's for sure.
Just a wee bit, you have to think. From a couple of shunts into the wall and rubbing Madigan a wee bit.
Oh, 14 laps to go. O'Brien gets on by, Schwartz gets on by O'Brien there.
This is not what O'Brien wants to see or deal with. He wants to be dealing with Madigan. Madigan is the threat to O'Brien's championships hopes whatsoever. 100-78 right now. Come on, Boston. Oh, that was a great pickoff.
No!
Oh, Brian. What a save. But this is hurting O'Brien's championship At least he will probably finish runner-up in this championship hunt. But as we know, Brian, you never want to finish runner-up in a championship.
Never. You always want to try to be there at the end and put the fight on, that's for sure.
Oh, at least you could say that happened.
Oh no. Oh, Brian's car is broke.
It is. Now that may even come up into question as maybe finishing second.
Really hated to see that for O'Brien. Really did. Great car all night. Giving Madigan a run for his money. Leaning on each other for a good handful of laps, I would say. Something happened to the farmer there. Greg Elliott with the second lead over Madigan.
Yes, with 8 laps to go at the stripe here. Elliott, Madigan, Swartz, Mazzella, and Taylor. And Mazzella just got by Swartz for third position. And rounding out the final step on the podium, Ostrander 6th, McDonald 7th, Farmer 8th, Cochran 9th, and Bonini 10th.
The question is, do we see a caution?
I think we would have saw, like, if it would have happened, it could have would have happened during the O'Brien shunt. Whatever happened there did not result into a caution. So we might be done for the 19 cautions, taking that Larry McReynolds hat off, so to speak. Hopefully we're done seeing cautions for the evening, because it's been one heck of a race. I'd love to see it finish green here. Of course, we always normally see.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Swartz and Mazzella here battling for the third position. Oh, and Swartz just has a bobble coming out of turn number 2 and just gets back into Mazzella. Mazzella's there, just kind of as a sponge to kind of catch Swartz, but in that catching action, he just kind of sideswipes off the 41 and back into the backstretch retaining. So everybody going to bring it back down pit road. Greg Elliott leading Madigan, Mazzella. Taylor staying out. Roberts staying out. I don't know. Do you want to stay out with... how many laps did they have on those tires? That was a good 20 lap run at least, Brian, if not 30, right? So somewhere in that ballpark.
So I did hear you can get away with 2 tires here.
Oh, Elliott slid through his box, had to back up. I don't think he's going to be coming out of pit road first. Oh, he still comes out of pit road first. Okay. Whatever. Wow. He must have only took 2 after he slid through. Can you do that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, like after they drop the jack on the right side, you can just drive away?
Yep.
So like after the tire change, you're getting back to the left side of the car. Before they jack you up on the left side, you can drive away.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. So even more things I did not know. So Greg Elliott, I speculation. I don't know what his pit stop time was, but I'm speculating he took right side tires to make up for the mistake of sliding through the pit box and having to back up, Brian. So I don't know what else anybody else could have taken. I just saw that one mistake from Elliott. Elliott's trying to win the race. I don't think he mathematically has a chance to win the championship. I have to look over the points again. And like I said, after the race, we are going to get Avery or someone down here before we claim anyone to be champion. That's kind of the only right thing to do. Get official word and then go from there. Because when you have races that kind of come down to a champion, like a tight points battle, and it be basically a win the race type of scenario, and this person has to finish there in order for that person to win that, or it can be very confusing and very tedious, to say the least.
Yes, I would have to agree with you, sir.
I've been in those positions too many times to count myself as an admin, an owner, a driver, so I hate them. It doesn't matter which hat you have to wear. So Jason Taylor's staying out, but Roberts came back down pit road and pitted. So lights are off now. Looks like JT will pick the outside. And like I said, I think JT might have a mathematical chance here, Brian, as long as Madigan finishes outside of, I think he has to finish maybe outside the top 4 or 5, somewhere in that ballpark. O'Brien, I think, needed him to finish like either second or third somewhere, or worse, I think, maybe, and also win the race. So, like I said, a lot to take in mathematically that I don't really need to do because I'm not an admin over here, nor in any league or series. I'm just a voice of the voiceless, voice of the people, voice. And back to the green flag racing we are going as the Chevy pace truck pulls off here, and the field is quite spread apart. Bad mistime restart there for Elliott. He could not match Taylor. Taylor kind of had a skippity boobop bay type of restart. And man, down here on the bottom lane, almost 3 wide as Marzella, I guess, kind of thought better of it, or maybe just didn't have the momentum off the corner. Side by side rubbing going into turn 1, Elliott and Madigan, as JT loving what he's seeing behind him, but I don't know for how much longer that can last. Into the wall, Greg Elliott goes. He's going to ride the wall like this. They turn around. They spin coming out of turn number 4 after contact. Bonini in the wall. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Oof. Elliott, Farmer, Mazzella, your podium finishers. Let's go back and see that again.
I'm broken. I'm speechless. I cannot compute. I need a system reset or something. Oh, my goodness. So, you see here on the replay, JT with these possible 30 lap or more old tires, and he has to back up the corner so much because of how old the tires are. He doesn't want to go in the corner and just it's come out from underneath him. But then going into the corner, I think Elliott is able to get into the corner just a little bit better because he has right side tires compared to the old tires, but he's He's possibly going to run over Taylor, but then also crosses up his steering as well. So multiple things happen. Anyway, and then Taylor keeps it in the middle, but then he starts to break loose. He's coming down the track. He's going to defend the position from Manigan, but while he's sliding, drifting, he corrects it back into Manigan. Elliott passes them on the outside, chastaining the wall after trying to avoid Taylor. And like you say, everybody spinning around. Man, oh man, what a wicked finish! Wacky racers finish here at Iowa, racing in the cornfields. I don't. That is truly racing in the cornfields, Brian. But
Absolutely, it is.
man. So like I said, waiting. Gonna have to grab Avery if he's up there, snatch him, get word, confirmation, just to make sure who's champion, right? That's the only way I'd know about doing it, right, Brian? That's normally how we go about doing things.
That's the fair way.
Yeah, we
So,
snatch up.
Sister Abigail is Nikki Cross. Sorry, I just ruined it for you. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. Like I told Tyler earlier, I said I'm gonna watch it in the morning on Hulu. Give me spoilers, I don't care.
What the hell is that? Is that Rowan?
We're gonna have a long list of people to talk to, Brian.
Oh yeah. That we are. Here's our podium, Mazzella, Farmer, Elliott. So, let's see here. You want to talk to Avery first?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I can't move. Oh, wait, there we go. So, unfortunately, we can't do that yet. So, we'll go ahead and talk to Mazzella. Alright, well, he's not on either. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, he's looking at something real quick. So, we'll talk to P2 Farmer. Okay. Oh, there he is, yep. We'll bring Greg up. There he is.
Hey guys.
Howdy doody.
How's it going?
Going pretty good, Ross Chastain. How about yourself, man?
I don't know about that. But,
Well, just
I'm doing
about.
all right.
Just about. Instead of a watermelon, like a hell melon, it was kind of like a hell corn, I guess, since we're racing in the cornfields. I don't know how
Yeah,
many
it
more
was a
times.
wild finish for sure. Those
Heck of a
those
finish.
guys were going after it, man.
They
Got
were.
into sent it down into turn 3 like as hard as I could, and the thing wouldn't turn, so I gassed it up to try to get it to rotate, and ended up hitting the wall. And then I tried to keep it up there to get, I didn't want to get into Madigan or Taylor at that point. They ended up getting into each other anyway. So
Yeah.
if I didn't do that, I would have been in the wreck with them.
They were synchronized swimmers or spinners. They. Yeah, it was a heck of a race. What was it? 7, 8 cautions in total. 8 cautions. Um, hairy conditions out there for the most part. It looked like for most of you guys. You had a car that kind of at times looked like it was on rails. Tell us about what you were mainly dealing with and what you were facing with out there on track, Greg.
So we were really fast in practice, and I tried to apply that to the race. And early in the race, I was able to do that, and I was able to keep pace with Madigan. But the line that we were running and what I was having to do to hustle the car to keep that pace absolutely burnt the rear tires off of it. The right rear, after about 15 to 20 laps, it was just absolutely worthless. And it didn't even have to be on corner exit. I mean, we'd be getting down into the turns and wanting to spin out on entry. And that's something that we don't see a whole lot with this next gen car, especially given the fact that we run 70% fuel. So that was a learning experience when I brought out the one of the first cautions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, um, after I came and pitted, it actually didn't repair the vehicle, so I had to make a couple of subsequent stops, and finally got the fast repair done. But what that did is it put me restarting. I was coming off of pit road as the field was taking the green flag, and so at that point, the race turned into a practice session for me, and I figured out a line that was completely different from anything I'd ran in practice. And I noticed that after we got to the lap 20 mark, I was still maintaining the same pace as the leader, running a completely different line. And so I knew at that point that's what I had to do. And I really wish it would have went green because I had him covered.
I thought it was going to. Brian was asking me. He's like, think we're going to see another caution? Maybe it go into overtime. I was like, I sure hope it stays green. Some of these drivers probably wanted to stay green, like yourself. You had already taken the lead away from Madigan and Sean. Sean and Joseph, they got to battling, looking like a barroom brawl. What did you think of that battle in front of you before you took the lead away?
I gotta say, that's some of the best racing I've ever seen.
Yes.
Real life, virtual, championships on the line. Those guys, they treated each other with a lot of respect. Yeah, they touched doors, but man, that's just good racing. You couldn't ask for anything better for a season finale in AMS.
And it's going to happen at a track like Iowa. You are going to make that short track type of contact because it's pretty much, it is a short track. It's under a mile. So, Iowa, whether it's real life or, like you said, sim racing, I feel like Iowa's one of those tracks that just can produce some real good, great racing. And we saw that tonight, regardless of the cautions. Like, you guys were 3 wide, almost 4 wide. You guys were side by side at times, having battles constantly, especially on the restarts. You guys were going at it insanely on the restarts. I thought you guys were about to, a couple of times have bigger wrecks than you did.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. But we all know short track racing brings out the best of everybody and can put on a hell of a freaking show.
Greg,
Well, I hope that everyone that watched enjoyed what they saw, and I'm glad we finally got a checker flag at the end of one of these things for the 8 car. We've been trying all season. It's been an off year. You go from winning the championship to, just being somewhere in the top 10 in points, and that's just not normal. So we hope to take this as good momentum into next season and see what we can do.
Yeah, you only have a month off, right? That's what Brian was saying. So, a small break, then back at it again. Final thoughts, shout outs, anything, Greg? Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I want to thank all the admin group here at AMS for keeping this train on the tracks, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done with the broadcast. Look forward to maybe having you back next season, and we'll get things started around Brickyard time, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, good news is we will be back. So
That's
Another
right.
thing, Greg. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right, and we're excited to have you back, and hopefully all the viewers appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to be back. We love. I love. Brian does too. Getting to call your guys' races because like I just said, talking about this race tonight, like just about every race. I don't know of a race from the start of the season at Daytona where you guys wasn't putting on a great barn burner of a race. Yeah, some races you might have some hiccups here or there, but just about like I think out of this little 15, 16 race stint here, you guys had what 3 or 4, maybe 5 races where you guys went caution free, right? So,
Yes, absolutely. That's the one thing about AMS. We usually have extremely clean drivers, and we averaged just over 1 caution per race last season or two. And so we did have a few more cautions this season, but heck, you're gonna have that when the racing is this close and these drivers are so evenly matched. I mean, running into each other is a little inevitable at times.
oh yes, sir. I agree with you.
another thing, Greg. Um, can you confirm if Joseph Madigan did win?
Avery's down there, so Avery
Okay,
said that he was going to
maybe.
come up and.
Okay.
By everything that we know, it looks like our champion for the season is Joseph Madigan. He did a wonderful job this season. Very, very stiff competition there in the 76
6
car.
race wins. I think six out of the 16 race. Si- can't talk now. English difficult all of a sudden, which isn't.
Well, he put together one hell of a season, and
Yeah.
congratulations to Joseph. Absolutely.
But also, congratulations to you tonight as well, race winner Greg Elliott in that 8 car. Hopefully, maybe we could get some more Wood Brother-ish schemes or maybe some other. Anyway, I'm a fan of like throwbacks, but yes, can't wait for next season. Like you talked about, any other shout outs or anything? I just love talking to you, Greg. You're such a you seem like such a well person. You know what I mean? Like just I could talk to you
Well, I
all night.
appreciate that, guys. But again, thanks for all you do, and we'll see you next season.
Yes, sir. See you next season. Just bad at saying goodbye. I just hate to say it. I guess.
Hasta la vista.
Baby. Yes. So that's our race winner for the evening,
Hey, Farmer's
Greg
down there now.
Elliott. Yeah, Farmer. He was what P2 finisher this evening.
Yeah. Farmer.
What's up?
What a hell of a race you had from drop the green flag till the end there.
I was in every position.
Yeah, you were.
And hell, you
Tell us
made a
about it.
pretty good damn charge back, that's for sure.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I'm not sure if you heard the news, but apparently they've disqualified Greg from P1 and moved everybody up a spot, so I think I may have stole a win there.
Oh, is it from the wall ride?
They called a wall ride there on the last lap and
Oh!
disqualified.
That is some tragedy. Oh, well, congratulations to the new race
on the
winner.
win, yep.
Yeah. Oh man. Don't mean to laugh. That is not. Didn't mean to laugh. We are going to apologize for laughing right there, but you just gotta. Like I said earlier,
I
we
hate
wear
to see
many
it.
hats, And yeah, just John, Mr. Farmer, getting the
It was
race.
100% luck that I won that. No other way to describe it.
I mean, heck of a finish coming through 3 and 4. And if they didn't touch, what was the mindset as you're behind all 3 of them going down the back straightaway, and you know that just give us your mindset.
Well, I was pleased with the top 5. I was just trying not to overshoot it like I did that one time. Starting in 3rd or 4th, I overshot it, so I was pleased with where I was at. It just ended up working out for me there.
Yeah, they touch, and like I was talking with Greg there, unfortunately, synchronized spinning, right? They almost look like synchronized swimmers, and seas opened up for you, and you just got the win here tonight. Like you said, disqualified poor Greg, but he was so hopeful with the momentum going into next season. He said, and oh my God.
Well, the word was disc DQ 5 minutes ago, so I don't think they're going to change it.
We were talking to him for a good 10 minutes, Farmer, before.
So some drama to end this season, but I think what may have happened, him hitting that wall may have spooked, the other 2 people and caused the synchronized spinning there. So I needed some luck this season. I've had some bad luck, so I'll take this one.
Yes.
I mean, it was I like, if you go back and listen to me, I don't even know it's the final lap. Like I am that worked up calling their racing that I don't even know it's the final lap, and they spin and Elliott takes the checkered and Brian's like, and Elliott wins it, and I was speechless whenever they spun. Like my program, like I'm still like after you told me that they DQ'd Elliott now.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Anyway, like you said, more drama. Wow. Well, tell us, like you said, you were in every position, from the drop of the green flag to a few laps later, and then the second caution. Whenever Sean O'Brien, you had your nose there, and then just tell us about being in the wars all night. How about racing here in Iowa?
Well, it was end of the season racing, so not a lot of give and take out there. So me and 65, we hit the start. So then I had a good long run car, so I worked my way back up, and then some pit strategy got me towards the front. Then I overshot it and lost it. Took Antonio out. He owes me about 2 from this season. But sometimes it works out for you, so we're excited for next season. Hopefully see y'all around, and we can start off on the right foot instead of digging out of the hole.
I gotta get you friends with a guy named Brandon Moore who sounds just like you, except like 20 years younger. Anyway, next season. What's the hopes, dreams, ambitions for next season there, Mr. Farmer?
I'm hoping everybody gets slower and I stay about the same. Cause I've got a top 5 car, but I'm in a position where I only got a race or 2 where I can go for the win, so I got to take advantage of it.
Oh my God! You are a trip, man. Talking to you, which we haven't got to talk to you that much because you get caught up in so much
shenanigans.
Yes,
I'm hoping. You asked me what I hope for next season. I hope for some better internet connections. That's what we're hoping for, and then.
What race was it that you were leading? You were leading a race, wasn't you? And then
Darlington.
Yeah, that's right.
I was driving away from it at the end. Yeah, that one hurt. And Bristol, I should have won, but I was looking at my menus under caution and ran right into Antonio and blew up.
Brian's done that before.
So this should have been number 3 for the season, but I'm glad I at least got 1. So we'll give it another try next season.
That's right.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, hopefully they do get slower.
Yeah. So I hope to see y'all around. I appreciate y'all doing this for us.
Congratulations. Final shout-outs. Anything else before we let you go there, race winner?
I just appreciate you doing this for us and them hosting these races, and gotta say hi to the wife who's probably in bed already.
Yes, indeed. Some people just can't stay up a little bit past what you know that.
Night races, they're a killer.
Yes, they can be. Anyway, thank you for helping me say that. So we'll catch up with you a little bit later there, Josh, and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. I'll see y'all later.
No problem. Now we can
Yep.
talk to our P3, Mr. Madigan.
Just can't say bye to people, can we? Yes, Joseph Manigan,
P3
who,
finisher.
yes, everybody moving up a spot, moving on up. So, Joseph, tell us about just trying to defend, and hold the lead, from Sean O'Brien, Jason Taylor. Pretty much you three were the mathematical chosen ones to maybe grab the championship this evening. And so just tell us about it, man, defending and doing all you were trying to do.
Yeah, it was a pretty straight race from the get-go. Just had to beat Sean and Jason, mainly Sean.
Yeah.
Even if he won, I finished top 5 and I still had it. So just making sure I just kept it in one piece. And there were a couple times throughout that whole run that it was close to wrecking it, but I think that throughout the whole race, everyone raced pretty clean and fair. I'd say. Seemed like early in the run I could kind of pull away, or they were kind of hanging on with me, but if I kept that top lane rolling in 3 and 4, that there was nothing they could do. And then as the run progressed, it seemed like people started getting a little more loose, and I just kept running that same line, and I kept pulling away. So that first run, I pulled up to like about 5-second lead right before the caution came out. So yeah, it was. It seemed like if you were on the bottom, you had to kind of send it in there really hard, and even if you did that, you'd kill your entire run on the front stretch. So it was really about protecting the top, it seemed like, and in 3 and 4 mainly, but also in 1 and 2, because that'll determine your lane for turn 3. So if you can keep the top rolling, there's almost nothing they can do.
Well, you are the champion of this season. I believe it was, 6 race wins?
I believe so, yes.
So, a dominant one, that's more than 25%. That's, what, 30%?
How many
No,
races did we do this season? I don't remember.
16. So that's 40%, right? 40% of the races?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Anyway, math. So who needs it? I mean, people. Anyway, so yes, Joseph, just killer season with the stats and everything you racked up and so forth. Just tell us about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the season, it was mainly about being consistent. Honestly, I didn't know if it was. I kind of understood it was a chase format, but I wasn't 100%. I was like 90.
The OG chase format.
Yeah.
Just points.
The good one. I like that one, but
Points.
I like playoff too.
I mean, it's still playoffs. It's just with points.
As a racer, I like chase, but as a viewer, I like playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a fairly consistent season. I feel like every week in and week out, we were definitely the #1 threat for the win. Each time, no matter if we were, qualifying up front or qualifying in the back, it seemed like I always kind of made my way up front. So I feel like with my driving style, I'm very versatile. I can run all kinds of tracks, road courses, ovals, super speedways, everything. And it kind of showed throughout the stats. So I'll have to look at the final stat sheet and extreme scoring after the fact. But yeah, we just kept it together, and especially we had the best car, and we had to make them go get it, and that showed. They kind of cracked under pressure at the end there, and ultimately the cream rise to the top.
Yeah, you're good at saying big words. Versatile. Yep. Anyway, so tell dominant performance here this evening. Unfortunately, didn't get the checkered. Just collected in the last corner melee scrimmage. Tell us about that. You were getting a good run on Taylor. Taylor had old tires. I want to say at least like 30 lap old tires, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. And he stayed out, hoping for something to happen on the restart. Maybe you spin the tires, fall back, like you said, at least a sixth or ninth or somewhere, maybe wreck on the restart, and then he might have a chance for the championship, like mathematically, like we were talking about earlier. Uh, Anywho, but that did not happen. You guys, man, like I said a while ago, it was like a barroom brawl coming through turn 4.
Yeah, it was, it was a hard race. Especially with me and O'Brien, we were racing really hard. I mean,
Oh, dude, that was some of the
spot
greatest,
jobs.
racing I have seen. I have to agree with Greg Elliott. Uh, he said that whether it be on TV or on sim racing, some of the greatest racing he has seen in a while between you two. And I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably anything you can ask. I mean, I don't want anyone to just kind of move aside for me. I want to be raced for it, and Sean did exactly that. He raced fair and clean, and anytime he stepped over the limit, it seemed like he owed up to it. Because one time, put me up in the wall in turn 4, and I was frustrated, and I was thinking about shipping him in turn 1, but then he kind of messed it up. So, yeah, he owned up to it. He apologized after the race, and he's got to do what he's got to do because he has to beat me by I think 5 positions. So, he's got to try something, and he's got to get it done quick. So, that was fun. And then with Jason at the end, I thought he at the end there he let off the gas and tried dumping me, and I had with Jason, it's a lot more of a stretch. He had to beat me by I don't know, I think like 13 positions. So
Yeah, it was going to be a big ballpark.
yeah, so he had to try something. It didn't work. But can't fault him, I guess, after the fact. I mean, it looked like he just got loose. So yeah, it was an eventful one. Definitely had fun. I didn't have much practice, and I think going to the real race kind of paid off for that. So kind of seeing what the lines they were running, and it was a fun one. I think Iowa was probably one of the best tracks on iRacing, and I'm gonna throw that out there.
No, I agree. Iowa, like always, proves or provides it can, give us some good racing. No matter the series, it can be trucks, Xfinity, Cup. I don't care what series. You could put we could put late models on here, and it would probably be a damn good race, no doubt. You gonna be back next season, there, champ, to defend the championship over here in the AMS Cup Series?
Oh, I'll have to wait for a schedule release, but we'll see. I'm not gonna say
You're
that.
one of those guys.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
wish we did a couple of road courses this season. It would have, I'd say, opened up for other people to kind of show up, have some road ringers in here, and maybe it'll kind of just maybe those are the races that we just kind of have a little more fun with, and just see all hell break loose.
Good point.
But yeah, I don't know. Some of the races this season they substituted with other tracks, so I'll have to see what kind of tracks they got in store for next season, and we'll see. I'm not sure what my plans are looking like in real life, so we'll take it one step at a time, and maybe you might see me, and maybe I'll just do a one-off and
Moonlight.
go from there. Yeah, do a one-off, and everyone's excited to see me. Oh my God! And then win the race and never come back again.
Go back to the attic or the basement and never return. Final thoughts, shout outs there, champ. Anything else you'd like to add about maybe tonight, this season, so forth?
Yeah, just a good season for Anarchy. I had fun racing. And for you guys putting a broadcast every week. Fun talking to you guys in Victory Lane, or highs and lows after every race. Seemed like you guys were very observant, and you guys could ask some pretty good questions, and
Try to.
Yeah, I think you delivered on that. So,
Nice, thank you.
yeah, just thank my team, Madigan Motorsports, and everyone involved to get this organization rolling. Um, and
A lot of people.
yeah, a lot of people back at the shop. Gotta thank them. And yeah, and iRacing. Wouldn't be possible without them, because then we'd probably be stuck with R Factor or something like that, and that's just no fun. So.
Right? R Factor. Oh, don't. Let's not get started. Anywho, so, yeah, it was a heck of a season. Who else do we have left to interview and talk to?
Avery.
Is it?
I think
Oh,
Avery.
okay, Avery. We don't talk to Mazzella. Anyway, who finished second? I thought Mazzella finished. Who finished?
He's not on.
Oh, okay. He already dipped and go to Betty Bedland, I guess. Anyway, yeah, Joseph, thanks for talking to us about your championship-winning season here in the AMS Cup Series. Um, almost won the race tonight. Heck of a barn burner finish between everybody involved, just about, right? Like, it was a doozy of a race, to be honest. But a heck of a one, to say the least. Like, great race. Great race. I don't know what more you would want or ask for in a championship deciding race. The great battling that we had throughout with you for the lead, with, like I said, Jason and Sean O'Brien teammates there trying to uh, go at it themselves, so forth. Yeah, like that was some great racing, and Brian agreed on that as well. Um, I guess we'll get to Avery now. So yeah, thanks for talking to us, and hopefully we'll catch you next season there, Madigan.
Yeah, no, maybe you will, maybe you won't. But going
Oh,
back on your previous question, I'll make it quick. I guess all I can really ask is Greg to not take 2 tires on the final stop. That kind of screwed him. It, it I came out of my box. I felt like it was a good pit stop, and then Greg is already 10 seconds up. So I was like, oh.
Craig slid through his pit box on that pit stop, so that's why I think he shot out the or pit lane with only 2 tires.
That might be it. Yeah, that might have been it. But yeah, you got to give him credit. He tried it in turn 3, and it paid off for the moment. But the admins didn't like that. So yeah, I was kind of confused on that strategy a little bit. But you tried something, and you can't fault him for it.
Exactly. I agree with that.
But anyway, sir, awesome job on the win. Awesome job on locking up the championship. Hell of a race by you every week. Some ups, some downs, as you said. We always enjoy calling the races with you around, and everybody else. You just kicked ass majority of the season, anyway. So, always good to have that. So, hopefully, we will catch you next year. We enjoy calling races with you in it. So, hopefully, you can come back full time and don't be a Martin Truex.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Denny Hamlin had the car ready for me. So
Wow.
we'll see. I think I need to take an off season and go bass boat fishing.
There you go.
But
with old Johnny Morris.
hell yeah. But we'll see. I had fun racing, so we'll see. Never gonna
Yes.
count it out for sure.
That's right. All right, buddy.
Never gonna do you
We're gonna
up.
let you go and let you celebrate everything that has fallen into your hands this season. And if you're here next season, best of luck to you.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good one.
No problem.
Desert you.
Mr. Where did he go? Right here.
I always miss a fingernail.
Mr. McDonald.
What's happening?
How is it going?
Oh, pretty good. Ready to take a Monday off after this whole season.
Only one Monday?
Yeah, we'll get back to doing some recruiting after that, but it's always good to take a Monday off, hang out with the wife, and take a break from oval racing for a little bit.
Yes. Me and Will are glad to call your race. It's been a hell of a freaking season. Especially this one right here. It put on the excitement. It was just everything for a short track race. For racing to to come about. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Some unfortunate, some probably not so happy. But yes, it was just great overall. We obviously found out through Greg because we were gonna actually pull you in to make sure it was the official and who was the champion, but Will got that out of Greg. And I'm sure, and we already heard the bad news from Farmer. Farmer's great.
He's a good dude.
That's a great character there. He's one of those ones where we tried so hard not to laugh, but Farmer just brought all the excitement to us, so it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a good group of guys, and it starts at the top with Chris. He's been doing this, running the league since 2011, I think, on iRacing, and then before that on NASCAR 9. So it starts at the top, and then it goes down to guys like, Kevin, Greg, Kenan, then I guess myself, I get a little bit of credit, but so it starts at the top, and it trickles down to our members, we had a great season. I think this has been one of our better seasons from not just from a driver count, but from a racing. We had a little bit more cautions maybe tonight than we wanted to, but you go into a short track like Iowa that's still relatively new to Cup racing. We've ran it before in the Cup Series, but put on good racing. It caused that caution in the beginning, and we had the 2 caution rule, so I'm like, I'm going to drive it like a baby around the track for a while. But yeah, it was a great season. Just thankful for everybody that, whether they do something small or big with the league, or if they just show up on Monday nights and race. It was it's a good group of drivers, and thankful to have them.
Yes, sir. One question is, for those who are watching and those who are interested in joining you guys next season, where could they get a hold of you guys at? Where could they find you? Or where can they get a lot of the information from?
Absolutely. AMSleague.com, that's our site. That's got all the info. Our schedule for next season will be up in about a week. And then if you go to the website, we have a Discord server. Join that, and we'll try to reach out to you. And if you're on iRacing, Anarchy Motorsports Series is in the league page. I think it's League ID 27. So, one of the first iRacing official leagues once they brought that in. But so yeah, check us out at AMSleague.com. Join the Discord. All of our races were on your guys' channel. Did a phenomenal job. So July 22nd is the season opener at the Brickyard. It's my favorite track. I've been there a lot of times, and when I found out when they were going back to the Oval last year through some other people to come race this year, I was excited to go back because it's a great track. Came off a podium at the 500 a couple weeks ago, so we'll see what we can do in just over a month's time. So yep, AMSleague.com, Discord server. Check it out. It's next gen Cup cars like you've seen tonight. We do a fixed setup, and we got a couple things we're going to change next season. We're going to bring in the Geico restart zone and potentially a tire set rule. Something we haven't done yet, but I think it's time to finally adapt a little bit. But it was a great season. We're always looking for more, though.
Yeah, because you don't always necessarily want people diving down and into the pits every caution to get a fresh set of tires, right? Because it's almost going to be. I don't want to say there's no strategy coming into play at that point, but even with 8 sets or 6 sets, it's still kind of tricky. You gotta kind of, if you are going to put a tire limit, you got to try to find a happy medium, to roll with the X amount of laps you're going to go with as well. So that's always kind of a tricky thing, but also a nice rule to have in a way, because like I just said, you got to have some strategy mindset into it. Not that we already don't have enough strategy in the AMS Cup Series. A lot of, I think, out of the what we had 16 points paying races this season. I want to say there was 5 or 6 races where you guys went green flag from the drop of the green to checkered, just no caution, like caution-free races. So that's another thing that is awesome over here. You guys, can just get into a rhythm and just have great racing but also caution-free great racing as well. You guys can get close. You don't have to always be touching. That's another good thing. Like the driver core over here, you guys can stay off each other for the most part. Like we saw tonight, it's a championship deciding race. Things are going to happen. Action happens. Iowa can be kind of an action track, because just of how close the racing can be. So yes, Avery, just wanted to chit chat with you for a bit at the end of things here for the finale, just to see what your thoughts were for the season and also going into next season. Thank you for that. Anything else that we might need to know or do or say before we wrap things up here?
No, just thanks again, guys, for doing a good job, and it's always good to get people that care and try to and they just have fun. I think that's always important when it comes into broadcasting. From someone who's done a little bit of commentary work on the sim side, it's all about having fun, and I can really tell that you guys are having a good time. So that's obviously our goals, to make sure you guys have enjoy yourselves for our races. We try to put on a good product, and I think we did. I think we had a couple of rough races, but at the end of the day, we had some really good races, and I actually won a race this year, so that was also a big plus. But the great thing about our league is how we split up in 2 seasons. We get a month off to, do something different on a Monday night, and then we'll get right back at it at the Brickyard, and everything starts all over, and we try to run for another championship. So, I was a little bummed I was a little slow today, but I just didn't get the time I needed. One thing about our league is we also run some of the endurance races. We had 2 teams, call them Team Bob and Team Bob Jr. We finished 11th in both rooms, and Art, Kenan, and I raced a car. We had 44 cars. Yeah, we ran 6 hours of Glen, 44 GT3s, and we ended up 11th. Had a good cars. So if you like oval racing and you like doing endurance racing too, we're always looking for more teams. It's cool, but other than that, great job, guys. My pleasure is us to be on your guys' channel and have you guys provide some great coverage for us.
Well, our pleasure as well. We take, I know me and Brian, I believe we take great pride in being able to call your guys' races, so we appreciate the ability and being able to do that. And can't wait. What's in store for next season, Avery?
Oh, yeah, we can't either. Thanks again, guys. It's a pleasure as ours to have 2 great guys to call our races, and you can, like I said, I can tell you guys have a good time, and that's always important.
Absolutely, and we try to bring you the best commentary that we can and make you guys happy, and we're excited to come back and put on more great action for you guys. So we appreciate doing this for you guys. You guys do good every week, so we couldn't be much more happier to spend our time on a Monday with you guys. So a very exciting finish, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good month off from us, and hope the rest of your shows during the week go swell too, man. I always try to tune in a little bit when I can. So thanks, guys.
No problem. You have yourself a good night.
And Brian, that'll do it for us for a month on Mondays. Coming to you from the AMS Cup Series booth. Been one heck of a season for us calling our first AMS Cup Series season. Like Avery said, not their first season by no means. They've been at it. They've had a long tenure in the game. As you might want to say, it's all about the game and how you play it all. Anyway, I can't sing that entire song. But nevertheless, great season, great turnout. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, coming out, chit-chatting sometimes. I know you don't always, but just mainly coming out, hanging out with me and Brian. So we appreciate that. Tuesday, being our Truck Series action.
Las Vegas.
From Las Vegas. That's the penultimate round before the championship deciding round at the week after, wherever that is at the moment. My mind went blank. Anyway, we'll be back, same bat channel, different bat time, just an hour or two earlier. Anyway, that'll do it tonight. Hopefully each and every one of us will have a